Well, thank you for asking. But definitely the supply will be there. I mean, if you look at it, historically, Nigeria has been having fuel queues since 1972. And, we have actually removed those queues. It's not about actually relying on imports. For the first time, we're actually suppliers to Europe and US. Today, we have written to NMDPRA, the midstream regulator, and we have confirmed to him that we can supply 50 million every day. And, there won't be queues at all. Because I can tell you for nothing, right now, even when we were servicing the refinery, there are no queues. So question of getting queues is history. It will never ever happen by the grace of God. No more. That's number one. Number two, even our neighboring countries, they won't have queues at all, because they can buy from us by official purchase. By February, we'll be able to supply about 15 to 20 million liters, more than the consumption of Nigeria. So we still have to export. So with that is fine. And people who are even like in plastic industries, we will fully serve the domestic market, which they used to use about $350 to $400 million to import. We'll take that one out. But going forward, what do we really want to do? What we are going to do by 2028, we are going to take this refinery to the largest refinery in the world. We're going to beat Reliance. Reliance is 1.25 million barrels per day. We will be at 1.4 million barrels per day. We have already launched that, we have signed, and we're going to start piling for the refinery by January, before January ending, and it will be delivered on time. On the fertilizer, we want to use our own fertilizer company here in Nigeria to supply the entire African continent. We're going to have urea production of about 12 million tons. 12 million tons will put us as the largest, company producing urea, bigger than Russia and bigger than Qatar. So we're doing quite a lot. So I think what we are doing, we're trying to also make sure that we're the gateway to investment in Nigeria and Africa. Yeah, prices are going down. The reason why prices have to go down, we have to also compete with the imports. But, luckily for us now, the smuggling has reduced, not totally. There are still quite a lot of smuggling, because the price we have in Nigeria is about 55% of the price of our neighboring countries. So it doesn't matter how you police the borders, people will still export because there's so much money to be made. They are selling at almost 1,500, 1,600. We are selling at about 800 and something. So it is bound to do this. But petroleum products, both diesel and gasoline, which is PMS, will continue to be sold in the market at a very reasonable, price. We are not here to make our 20 billion back quickly. No, it's a long-term investment. And like what I keep saying, the issue is, okay, fine, what do we really want to leave as a legacy? So the legacy that we want to leave behind is to see that whatever Nigeria needs, we will be part of that delivery. Delivery of, is it power? Even now, the company, we're launching our vision, next week. And we will, put up a lot of things, because we're thinking of what to do next. So, for example, now in Nigeria, we have a lot of solid minerals. But the only thing that is stopping us from using these solid minerals is actually the ports. Which port are you going to take them to? Is it Apapa? It's full. Is it Tinkan Island? It's full. Lekki is only container that they are handling. So there's nowhere you can take. If you have coal, for example, Nigeria is Awoshu's coal. If you are going to export, you can't export it because there's nowhere. If you have a copper, you want to export, you cannot. So that is why people don't know why we're now opening up the biggest, largest deep sea port in West Africa. That is Olokola. Olokola, I can guarantee you, is going to be the biggest, largest port. And we will deliver it within the next 2.5 years. The naira for crude, I think, is, it is me being, a Nigerian. It is a win-win, and I must thank His Excellency, Mr. President, for having that ingenious thinking, say, okay, fine, look, let's try and do that. So that is really what we are doing. We are doing the naira for crude, and the ministerial committee, they're actually doing a great job to make sure that, yes, it is not really well disturbed. Area where we're having a challenge is getting the crude. Nigeria's crude sells at a premium. And so some of the international oil companies are not really ready and willing to sell to us because we buy through, this. But it's a teasing problem, which I believe it will be addressed either in the new bill or maybe, we've reported to the government already. So we don't have any domestic competitor because it is not really like for like. We have a refinery, and there's nobody operating a refinery of our size. There are smaller, refineries that they have 5,000 barrels per day. So that is not really the same size as ours. But what we are trying to do is to make Nigeria the refining hub of Africa, because African countries, all of them, they're importing products, and we want to make sure that whatever we are consuming right now, it is produced in our own land. We are not going to really rely on this. Yes, I mean, you are right, there is international competition, there are quite a lot of things, but we are focusing, like what I keep saying, we are football players. A football player that says that is going to listen or be watching the spectators, he will miss the ball. So we are focusing on the ball, and we will deliver that ball. We will score the ball. Yeah, because Nigeria's past policy is the one that has been launched by His Excellency, Mr. President. And if today we keep importing anything, I keep saying that import is importing of poverty and exporting of jobs out. So the issue is that can we develop without our own industries? We will have to face agriculture, we have to face industrialization, and then also strong bankers to be able to back up, what we are doing. If you don't have manufacturing outfit, so what is it? If you look at now, the Nigerian policy of before, during the military, everybody, from the president downwards, everybody, they were all using Peugeot 504. That was the highest. So when a president is using 504, you cannot come as a commoner, as a businessman, or whoever you are, to be using Rolls-Royce. If you have money for Rolls-Royce, you should go and put up an industry in your locality or anywhere part of Nigeria, wherever that you feel there is a need. And that's why really sometimes it pains me when I go to the local airport, whether it's here or Lagos. You see that to even find a parking of your plane is impossible. Everybody has a private jet. Those private jets should be in industries so that we can create jobs. Because today, luckily, some people maybe they don't know the position of the country as we speak, because population growth is 8.7 million babies every year. So 8.7 million babies every year, we have to be in a lot of things. We have to deliver power, we have to deliver infrastructure, we have to deliver this. That's why a company like ours, really, we are never really, if you look at all our companies, the taxes that we're paying is high. We don't mind, because like what I keep saying, in Nigeria, anytime when you have a company, the number one shareholder is government. But, so what we are looking for is that government should facilitate. They should give us, an enabling environment to do this. But then, we too, as corporate citizens, we must make sure that we pay our taxes. We must behave. So it's a partnership. I cannot be cheating my partner. So when government now give us the environment of making money, we should also be conscious about doing our own civic duties. That is to pay tax. Because if I pay tax, your children will be able to go to school. Your children will be able to go to hospital. None of us, really, we don't need to go to Cairo, London, or US for medicals. We do it here. But the demands of government is huge. So if the demand of government is huge, we must do our own bit. And we should stop calling for foreign investors. There's no foreign investor that will come here. The invitation of foreign investor is a domestic investor. What attracts a domestic investor, is good policies, good governance, rule of law. Once you have this, domestic investors will also be encouraged by the government to come and invest. Because some of them will say, no, it's just like us now. Before we say, no industry. Because people who previously invested in industry, they didn't really survive because smuggling, killing, textiles, like what happened to us in textiles. If we actually go back and think of what we did in textile, we had to sack 7,000 workers in one day because of the problem with the textile. But today, as we speak, we said that no, we must industrialize our country. Nobody will do it but us. So when we industrialize, a foreigner will now come either to partner with us or partner with any Nigerian, but we want to remove this perceived risk, the real risk, and also the perceived one. Because when you see somebody investing, then fine. It's like what I said to a lot of people. Have you ever seen somebody advertising for a restaurant? Nobody advertises restaurant at all, But you go and eat, the food is good, you tell somebody, that person too will go and try. So that's how we want to make our country. No, it went very well. It's just normal greeting, normal catch-up. Once in a while, I sit down with His Excellency, we discuss about economy, the environment, and co. And it was a very nice, fruitful meeting.